Hello, hello. I want to explain to you what tapping is and how to tap well, right? So you can use this no matter who you are tapping with, right? This will help you be a better tapper. Also, too, if you're using the videos on my page, you don't have to watch this video, right? Some of you will just want to, but you don't have to. You can start tapping with any of the videos and just follow me through it, and you'll learn about it as you go, right? If you want to know ahead of time, well, I'm going to show you right here. So in general, you're tapping on the end points of your meridians from Chinese medicine, and you're sending a calming signal through that meridian back to your brain, that fight, flight, or freeze center of your brain, right? And so this is what we're talking about. You've seen those pictures before. Is that going to focus? You've seen those pictures before of the meridians running through your body. The Indians call them nadis, right? And so it used to be considered really woo-woo type medicine, but now they can measure the signal, right? If you tap right here, they can measure the signal where it goes in your body so they know it's there. You'll feel it when you do it, so you'll know it's there. You know, you can't see Wi-Fi, but you know it's there, you know it's working. You can't see the energy running through the wall, the electricity, but you know it's there, right, when the light comes on. And so that's what we're doing, is tapping on the end points of those meridians. And while you're tapping, you're sending that calming signal to your brain. And so you're taking the emotional charge off whatever you're speaking of. Whatever you're talking about, whatever you're speaking on, you're taking the emotional charge off of that. And that emotional charge is what holds you back, right? So really what you're doing when you're tapping is you're turning knowledge into wisdom, right? You're turning all the experience you've been through and you're turning it into wisdom. You're taking the emotional charge off of it and you're just keeping the learning. And that's what you want to do. You'll feel much better. You'll respond much better. You'll be a much better parent. You will parent from your trauma until you release it. The good news is you can, and it's not that difficult. It's actually a very simple process. Where people have trouble is finding the right words, finding that access. And that's what I'm going to help you do here. And so let's just go through the points real quick, and then we'll go on from that. In general, you start right here on this karate chop point. Yeah. You start right there on the karate chop point and just kind of say 3 times whatever you're working on, right? You know, even though my dad was really hard on me growing up, and it was tough on me, I accept it. I accept myself. You'll say it 3 times as you tap on this point, and then you'll just go over all the details while you tap through the points, and you'll take that emotional charge off, and you'll feel it while you're doing it. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm sure you've seen. I really exhale when I do it because I want you guys to see that. You'll feel yourself want to exhale while you're doing this. Blow it out. Get it away from your body. I see some of you almost try to kind of hold it back or swallow it like that because you've just been doing it. You've held on to that energy for so long, it kind of feels weird to you, you know, but you want to really blow it out and get it away from your body. Um, I tap with both hands on both sides. You don't have to. You can just do one side if you want. Your body is symmetrical. I tap pretty hard. I know a lot of people don't. They just kind of lightly tap. It's up to you. I feel it, so I want to get that energy through there, and I tap on it. I've had a lot of people comment on how hard I tap on the top of my head. It doesn't bother me at all. It feels good. But generally, you'll start right here on the karate chop point, and the point is actually right in the end of that knuckle. Yeah, you'll feel it right there. Some of you are kind of clogged up energetically, and until you do this a couple times, you won't really feel it, right? You got to do it a couple times to feel it. Some of you will feel it right off the bat. But you start here, you say what you're working on, then you start working through the points. And this next point, you know, on this bone right here, this brow ridge, there's a lot of points on that bone around your eye. But the point that's pointing toward your nose right in here, that's the point we're going on. Now, I see some of you tap like this. There is another point here, and you can do that. What I'm aiming at right here is this point on this brow ridge. It's a trauma point right there. You want to use 2 or 3 fingers. Tap hard enough so you can hear it, but obviously not so hard that you'd bruise yourself, right? Don't do anything silly. And then the next point is here at your temples, right? Then underneath your eyes, underneath your nose, underneath your chin. As you do it, you'll start to feel it and you'll fine tune it. For me, this point underneath my chin, it's always just a little bit to the right. And I don't know if that's my fascia or what that is, but there's something going on there, right? But I can feel where the points are, so I tend to hit them now. And you will too after you do it a couple of times, right? Then your chest. This is the kidney meridian. I see a lot of people tap right here when they're getting We're talking about fear. They tend to get stuck right here, which is completely fine. And then down here on your side, it's about, I don't know, 6, 7 inches down from your armpit. For women, it's about at your bra strap. If you were looking at the side of your body, it'd be a little bit to the back. That's where mine is. You know, if I was looking right down the center, it's to the back a little bit. Um, and then up here on the top of your head. I notice a lot of people here on the top of their head, they don't tap there. They'll kind of tap over to the side or to the back or something. I don't know if they feel weird about tapping on the top of their head or what it is. A lot of people, when they tap on this point, when they first begin to tap on this point, it will feel sore, like you bruised it. It's not sore. You need that point. And if this point feels sore for you, keep working on that till you get that soreness out. This point is helping you get your good guidance from your higher self, right? This point right here, this crown chakra point, you want that to be open for sure. So if this is at all feeling sore or bruised, make sure you tap through that, because it's to your benefit to have that open, right? You'll make better decisions more quickly. You'll just get better guidance with this open. You want that open. So those are basically the points. Sometimes you'll be tapping and a point will feel really good and you'll want to stay on it. Stay on it. You probably need that point. Of course, I will just keep going and you can jump back in with me whenever you want. Sometimes you'll tap on a point and it will feel sore, like you bruised it. You didn't bruise it. You need that point. This point right here used to feel bruised for me all the time. And I would just tap the heck out of it. Sometimes it felt like I chased it along that bone or something and then back again. But you'll eventually get through that soreness. There's something there. There's a reason that's sore. You need to keep tapping on it and get through it. Once you start to feel it, it'll be easy for you. I notice a lot of people, not a lot, some people, you know, when they come in my office, I'm like, hey, this is what we're doing. Say what I say, do what I do, and start tapping. Some people, they just can't do that, you know, and I understand, whatever, that's their thing. And so, but you really, when you're first tapping, you want to tap through all 9 of the points, just like I'm doing. You want to tap through all 9 of those points until you kind of get the rhythm and you start feeling where those are. Those are the 9 biggest points, right? And then after you kind of got that and you're feeling it, right? Then you can move over and start finding other points. There's a ton of other points in your body and you'll find them as you tap. But I'd like you, for when you first start, just kind of start with those 9 points till you get it. Some of you go looking for other points before you ever get these, you know, before you ever feel these. I want you to feel these first, because you'll open up that energy system and you'll start to understand tapping and you'll start to understand your body in a different way, right? A lot of us go through trauma and you clear it out of your spirit, you clear it out of your mind, but it's still stuck there in your body, right? And your body's still scared or afraid of something. So you want to really get good at that tapping and stick to those points. You can, you know, and you want to know that what we're doing here is we're mining. We're looking for the emotions that you felt during this, you know, any traumatic event you had. We're looking for the way you responded. So when you can find those words that you used or that way you felt, right? When you can find that and tap through it, you'll release it from your body and you'll feel it. I imagine if you're watching this video, you already have felt it. Good for you. Keep going. I feel it all the time when I tap, right? You'll feel yourself releasing trauma as you do it. So look for the good words, you know. The way I think about this, like I said, we're miners, right? And so in one of these videos, you know, I'm driving that mine car, we're going right down in the mountain. And sometimes you might have to stop the car and get off and look right around there. You know, we may be tapping on, I'm just going to use this for an example. I was trying to think of an example when I was starting this. You know, we may be tapping on, even though your dad made you feel worthless, you know, I accept it, right? Even though my dad made me feel worthless, I accept it. But then all of a sudden it'll come to your mind. We'll have been tapping for a minute. It'll come to your mind. Oh, you know what he did? He embarrassed me. He made me feel worthless in front of his friends. He grabbed my arm and he jerked me around, you know, whatever. You'll think of that time. So stop the car, stop the mining car, get out and get that trauma right there out of your body. Stop it and go, oh, even though my dad jerked me around by the arm in front of his friends and it was humiliating, I accept it. I accept myself. And tap through that for a moment. Then you can come back to the video and turn it on, right? You're a miner. You're looking for what's there. And a lot of times you won't know until you tap for a while. After you tap for a few minutes, your body starts to open up, your brain, your memory center starts to open up, and different things will come to your mind. So, right now, as we're talking about it, you may not think of something that happened when you were a kid, but as you get started, it'll start to come to you and you go, oh, yeah, this thing happened. I need to tap this out. So I want you to think of it like we're miners. We're looking for that good stuff so you can release it. If you cry, that's solid gold, right? The water's telling you where the gold is. That's what's going on. So if you start crying, stop the video and keep tapping on whatever you were crying on. Even though my dad humiliated me, he jerked me around by the arm, whatever, and you start crying, tap all through that. Tap through it till you release it. You'll feel it, right? Even though this happened, he jerked me around in front of his friends and it made me feel like a fool and I was humiliated. I accept it. As soon as you're crying, follow that crying. That's good stuff. That's solid gold, right? You want to get rid of that. Um, the big thing is just to be aware of your body and what's going on. Sometimes you'll feel energy move in your body. And like I said, some of you are kind of clogged up when you're first getting started, but after you tap for a little while, you'll feel yourself open up. You'll know you're healthier. You'll feel it, you'll feel healthier. You'll feel those feelings. So sometimes you'll be tapping, and it just happened to me on one of these videos the other day, and I was shocked because I thought I was so far past that. But just the other day, I was tapping on one of these videos and I felt energy release from my body and get stuck right here in my throat. And I've seen it happen with clients a million times, and I felt it a million times. Sometimes they'll get stuck here, sometimes it's the back of your throat. You'll feel it other places in your body. You'll start to feel energy move around. If that happens to you, if you feel something move, oh, this energy just moved here and now it's still here. Stop the video and tap on it. What did you just say that moved that? Even though my dad jerked me around by the arm, or even though he humiliated me, I accept it. I accept myself. Keep talking on it till you move it out. You can even say, even though this energy is trapped here in my arm, and I think it came from me just talking about how my dad jerked me around by the arm, I accept it. I accept myself. You keep talking about that and you'll move it, right? So if you feel energy move, that's solid gold. Stop the video, track that down, get it out of your body. What made that happen, right? If you start to cry, that's solid gold. Stop the video, tap on that. What made that happen? And then come back to it, right? So that's what you're doing. I'm not trying to give you a fish. I'm trying to teach you a fish, right? So I can bait up the hook. I can even cast it out for you, but you're going to have to fish. You got to do it. You got to be the miner. What's going on in your body? What kind of trauma have you been through? You can use my videos, get down in the mountain, get way down in the mine and get right there, but you might have to stop it, get out of the car and look around, right? Right? You might have to do that. I have a little list here. Or I did. Where'd it go? Want to make sure I got it all. Beware of, don't swallow it, right? I breathe out a lot on my videos, a big heavy exhale. You do that. I wish you would do it too, because you're just training yourself to exhale that energy. I see a lot of you when we start tapping, you're holding it in. No, 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 no. We got to get that out. Get in that habit of the big exhale. When you feel that need to exhale, get in the habit of really blowing it out, right? I do it very audibly to try to remind you guys, and because I feel it too. Also, I just got to say this. It's happened to me so many times, I can't even say it, where I'm tapping with someone and I'll think whatever their issue is, it's not my issue. I have plenty of my own issues, but I'll think, oh, this issue isn't mine. I'm not worried, this is their thing, not mine, but I can guide them through it. Yeah. And but then while I'm tapping with them, I'll feel something release from my body. And it's so confusing to me. I'm like, I didn't go through anything like that. What's going on? It's really confusing. But it's happened so many times, I've started to wonder, what really is that feeling? You hear people talk about ancestral trauma. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what's going on, but I'm starting to think that that's kind of what you're releasing from your body, or what I'm releasing from my body when I feel something move that has not been my experience. If my trauma from ancestrally has been stored in my body. While I'm tapping, I'm sending that energy through every cell in my body. So if it's there, maybe that's what I'm getting rid of. I don't know. But what we're doing is taking the emotional charge off whatever you're speaking of. The reason I tell you that is so if you're tapping along with me and I say something that's not really true for you, you're not hurting yourself by tapping through that anyway, right? You're not going to program yourself or anything like that with trauma that's not yours. It's not like that. What you're doing is taking the emotional charge off of that trauma. So even, worst case scenario, if you're tapping through the points and I'm saying something that's not your experience, you're not going to hurt yourself by tapping along with me, right? You might even find that that's in your body anyway. You might even find that you release some of that anyway, right? That's how it's happened for me. But for a lot of you, the best thing to do will be, well, for some of you, it'll be a good idea to tap through the video once, just saying my words, and then tap through it again using your words, right? Then you'll know where we're going and you can tap right along with it, right? But it's up to you. Some of you can do it on the fly and do it right off the bat. Just change my words to be your words, right? This isn't difficult, right? It's not complicated, is what it is. It's not complicated. And the more you can be unemotional about your emotions, the easier it will be. A lot of us cling on to those emotions. I'm not blaming, I've had the same problem myself. A lot of us will cling on to our emotions like they're our identity, right? Like we identify with that. So for a while, be unemotional about your emotions and just tap through whatever's in your body and you'll be able to release it. You will. How I have it set up in my site, I think I tell you this somewhere else, but as you scroll down, the first section is do these 3 now, and then just scroll through there after those and find stuff that resonates with you, right? That resonates with your experience. And you're more apt, this is healing. All healing is self-healing, no matter what you do, all healing is self-healing. And so it's really a good idea to set a time and a place that you're going to focus on healing yourself, right? And a lot of you can't or won't do this, but it's a good idea if you can. I'm going to do this Friday night at 6 in my bedroom, wherever. You're much more likely to do something if you not only have a time set, but a place set as well. And also, if you're sitting down to tap, what I do a lot of times, I'll light a candle, I'll burn a little sage. I'm just kind of getting it going. I'll dim the lights. I'm just trying to get myself into that groove. This is what I'm doing. I'm tuning in to traumatic energy in my body and I'm releasing it. That's what I'm doing at this time. So set up a little healing space for yourself. Maybe burn some incense or something, or I don't know. I light candles all the time. Whatever works for me, for you. But it's good to kind of, set up a little space for yourself. And I guess that's it. One more thing. It's really good when you're done to clean out that environment, right? I might have said this somewhere else. I think I did, but it's really good. That energy you're blowing out, it has mass. Get rid of it. When I tap for myself, I stand in the back door and I open it and I blow it out the back door and I stand there and I tap like that. Or sometimes I do it out in the garage if it's too cold or something. But I don't want that energy in my house. And if I do it up here, for myself or just when I'm working, I am constantly saging in here and opening the window and opening it out and just letting energy in and out. How sometimes you'll walk into a room and there's some people in there and you can tell there was just something going on, right? There was just an argument or something there. You could feel it. You knew that was going on. In that same way, that energy was there and you picked up on it. In that same way, energy is about. And if you're going to clean out that room that you just walked into, if you're going to clean it out, how would you do it? Like for me, I'm going to open the window and I'm going to sage a little bit. I like sage. A lot of people don't like it. But you might Palo Santo, or you might spray some oils, right? Or you might just turn on some good music and get a fan going, right? Whatever, ring a bell. There's a lot of things you can do to just clean the energy out of a room. But if you're going to sit in one room and tap, that's great. It's better if you open a window. It's better if you sage when you're done, or Palo Santo, or do something to get rid of that negative energy and just keep the energy of your space clean, right? Just wanted to say that. But that's it. Good luck. That stuff will make you a much better tapper, even if you work with someone else. I hope you work with me. But you can be a better parent by releasing the trauma from your body. Thanks.